What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to MindThread. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the best of Redditor updates subreddit, and we got a crazy one to start us off. My friend's boyfriend is stalking me, and I don't know how to talk to her about it. Hi, everyone. I've been a listener and lurker for some time now. I thought I'd come here first. I remember a similar post pop up and really need advice on what to do. I have been in a few activities with Rory, 20 female, over the past school year, and we grew close, though we were friendly before and didn't know a lot about each other. I found out she had a boyfriend of a year that happened to be from the same high school I went to. Not super odd, since a few of my schoolmates from before are now also in my college, and I chalked it up to one of those what a small world kind of things. Rory and I got even closer this past semester since we are both in the student government and the student paper. We hang out a lot outside of activities, and I include her in some of the hangouts of my closer friend group. In one of the hangouts, we met her boyfriend Logan, who is 20 male. Ever since that hangout, I keep meeting Logan in places where I would normally be, in places where I plan to be. Again, I would normally chalk this up to being a coincidence, but the city where my college is in is huge. I don't even see some of my closest friends on a random day, if not for it being planned. It happens on my cafe spot where I study, or places I mention to my friends where I'll be running errands. Wow. Okay, so OP, yeah, this is already not a good sign. I think it's very, very telling that he went to the same high school as you. I wonder if there's something there. Like, that could be very interesting to hear about. It started to feel so scary about how often I see him that I get scared going outside and meeting him. He is nice when we meet, but I get a sick feeling whenever we talk, and I feel like I'm being scrutinized or watched. I don't know how it keeps happening, and I haven't really told anyone because it sounds so weird in my head. I want to speak to Rory about it because maybe she has an idea why he is essentially stalking me, but I don't really know how to move from here or to articulate what I want to say. I don't even know if I should talk to Rory at all because I don't want to come across as a homewrecker and blow up a really nice friendship. All right, let's read some relevant comments here. So commenter 1 recommends that OP trust her gut and says that a real friend would actually listen to her. OP replies, "Thank you, I really appreciate it. I'm still thinking of the best way to approach Rory because I've known her less than her boyfriend and I really don't want to blow everything up. I hope I can drop some hints or figure out a way to see if she knows about his behavior." This next commenter brings up a really good point. He's basically talking about how much does Logan communicate with OP whenever he sees her in public? Like, does he just say hi or does he really try to have a conversation? And then also brings up location sharing and if she's sharing with Rory. This commenter recommends that OP turns that off. OP goes, "I'll block him ASAP. I don't really share location, but I do tend to talk about places I would be, like the library, this grocery store, etc. because I happen to talk to my friends about it. The first 2 times I approached him thinking Rory was with him, but after that I got the sense that he would be alone if I ever spot him. Since then, he was the one approaching or bumping into me. We used to talk about stuff we have in common, mostly Rory, but as of recently, I try to finish our conversation ASAP and just leave." Okay. This next commenter brings up tracking and wonders if there's a tracker in OP's bag. That could be huge. Also says that she has zero obligation to spend time with him, which I do think is really true. OP, thank you. I'll leave him if I ever spot him again. I'm pretty low-key on social media, and my Instagram has been private since I made years ago. Commenter 4 brings up a great point, recommends that she keeps a detailed log of every time she sees Logan, and then just present that to Rory. Yeah, I like that. All right, here's the first update as of March 20th, 2026, which is 5 days later. I wanted to thank the people who gave really sound advice last week on my honestly rambly post/vent and rant. And to those who reached out to check in the days after to see if I was alright, I wasn't expecting such a warm and welcoming reception, and that really helped me push through this week. Before the actual update, here are a few things I wanted to assure you all of. 1, I had my car checked by 3 shops and was doubly assured that there wasn't any trackers. We've asked a friend of mine who had a sketchy ex in their past to use their bug sweeper on everything. My car, my things, my apartment, my clothes, and everything came out clean. Someone asked what we normally discuss when we meet, and I can't say it's anything of note. He normally approaches me and asks how I'm doing. We also talk about what I was doing at that place and sometimes about what Rory did that day. Sometimes the questions revolved around what I liked, or some questions friends would ask when they try to get to know each other, which I wouldn't mind answering if it weren't for the fact that he was showing up in a lot of the places I frequent, and I was suspecting him of stalking me. Here is the update. I followed the advice some commenters suggested, which was to change my routine. I felt it wasn't enough just to randomize everything to avoid him, so I decided to do that police tactic thing where certain specific info was given to certain specific people to see who the snitch was. Since I honestly don't really know how he would have stalked me otherwise, I go to some pretty hidden places. I told Rory that I would be in this cafe near school on Wednesday after we had a meeting. I have cleared my suspicion for most of my friends at this point, so it was Rory and another that I wanted to test. I stayed with a friend across the road in a bodega and saw Logan come inside the cafe where I said I was after an hour I said I would be there. I didn't have the best mood after confirming that Logan was using Rory to stalk me, so I didn't go out of the house all of Thursday because I was stressed out of my mind and didn't know how to move forward with the discovery. Fortunately, today I confronted Rory about it after I mustered up all the courage and tried to see if she was knowingly helping him, and she was just relaying info without malice. We met after I texted her that I wanted to talk about the agenda from Wednesday's meeting in a mutual friend's dorm room. An hour into the middle of me fiddling and trying to find the right moment to start, I followed one of the comments on my last post and kind of stated I kept seeing Logan in all the places that I'd been frequenting for the past month. It started out really well, but when I pressed that it was odd and I was seeing him almost every week, she got this really odd look on her face and asked me if I was trying to accuse her boyfriend of being gay, which took me off guard. Yeah, I am gay, not to be confused, but it was weird how she went to that direction. I backtracked and said that I wasn't accusing him of anything, but that I kept seeing him, and I brought up the fact that I told her I would be in the cafe on Wednesday and he came after, which I then asked if he asked her about my whereabouts. I think things got really out of hand after that, and she then said that he did ask, but it was more of a concerned boyfriend checking on their girlfriend hanging out with a guy kind of way, instead of the stalkerish kind of way. I got really confused here and tried to say that I gave off stalkerish vibes on my perspective, and she got really mad that I was on her mind, accusing her boyfriend of being interested in me and was gay for the second time. My mutual friend, who was in the room because she knew both of us, broke things up because they were getting loud and incoherent, and with no belief that we would make a sensible conversation, Rory left the dorm room. I did speak to my friend if I was taking it the wrong way, and she assured me that regardless of my gender and orientation, men had stalkers too, and that she supported me if Rory tried to accuse me of anything. I asked my close friends the same thing, and assured me that I was very public with my gayness, so it would be weird for Logan to assume I would be a threat to their relationship. I'm currently in my apartment, and I'm starting to wonder if I was taking it the wrong way. Would a guy keep tabs on a dude his girlfriend was friends with? I'm once again at my wit's end, but I'm trying not to spiral because all the important people, friends, family, etc. support me. I don't really know what's going to happen next, but I would be really appreciative of any advice. Thanks. Edit, March 22nd, 2026. Thank you all for the advice and the comforting words. It truly means a lot to me. Unfortunately, despite what many of the commenters suggested, I am unable to fully break off my tie to Rory and subsequently her BF, as the semester ends in mid-April for me, and we have a ton of year-end stuff to go through in the student government and the university paper. Fortunately, I do have other friends in those two organizations, so I will be very much applying for their help until the semester ends, so I can be with someone at all in case worse comes to reality. Once again, thank you so much. And then here we go, y'all. We got update number 2, which is May 10th, 2026, nearly 2 months later. Hello, everyone. I don't want to make this a long update because I don't really want to revisit what happened over the month, so I will condense it as much as I can. If anyone has any questions, I will do my best to answer. Long story short, Logan has been taken to the local police station, and I've successfully filed an RO on both of them, Logan and Rory. After the confrontation, Rory began bringing Logan everywhere, which did not help their case as rumors spread of what happened with us. Dormer walls are not soundproof, and Logan would just stare at me whenever Rory was looking away or busy doing something else. Not long after, a lot of our mutual friends dropped Rory as Logan would join their hangouts and would, unprompted, go on a rant about how bad of a person I was, making up lies about me, and go on a crazed angry speech on femboids, ruining the image of men in the current age. This kept going for 2 or 3-ish weeks during the final/project phase of school, but kind of died down as I finished off everything and prepared to graduate. Where it went wrong. I had invited my close friends and some others to a nice night out as graduation was close by, and everyone invited had an award to be celebrated. Not sure who leaked it, but Rory and Logan got a hold that I was having dinner at this restaurant that had these private rooms for parties and showed up. I clearly did not invite them to the celebration, and I had asked my male friends to get them out, but Rory seemed insistent to stay, and Logan remained quiet the whole back and forth. The argument got so heated that some waiters had to come and de-escalate it, but it seemed like he had had enough and shoved Rory out of the way and the friend who was arguing with her. I don't know what made him snap, but he had reached me and managed to push me to the ground. I hit the chair and table on the way down and was delirious from the pain that ached everywhere. I completely did not register that Logan seemed intent to get on top of me, probably to punch me or something. Fortunately, my friends grabbed him and tried to hold him down, but he kept trying to break free from their grasp. By the time I managed to get to my senses, some of the security staff had come, and Rory seemed shocked by the entire event that just occurred. They got taken out. A friend had suggested I get the CCTV of what happened and used it to get an RO, which I did the day after. Some days later, the police got back to me and asked to do an interview of some sort. I discussed what happened over the past few months, and the lady who I spoke to took me very seriously, and had told me they would try to get a warrant for their devices, as I mentioned they managed to track me down in some way, and I fear that it would continue. Fortunately, I had evidence of a crime committed and probable cause of stalking, so this was done. I thank the lady and her team for being so incredibly amazing with my case. Another few days rolled by, and I went down to the station. I went with my younger brother as my family arrived in town for my graduation a few days later. On the station, they had informed me that both Logan's and Rory's devices, tons of images and videos of me were found. Not only that, text messages showed that they had planned to attempt to find my apartment and do something. Due to the evidence, I will be pressing charges. On the bright side of things, I graduated with Latin honors and got a lot of medals for my activities I have done in college. I'm happy to say that I'm currently back at home and will be isolating myself for a good month before even thinking of adventuring out again. That's all for me. Whoa. All right, y'all, here we go. My stalker just won't quit. He escalated his tactics today. Whoa, okay. Original post was August 6th of 2024. Earlier last year, I tried online dating for a brief period. I immediately regretted my decision. A whole lot of creepy DMs that I don't need to describe here. I made the mistake of using my real name on my profile on a local dating site. Okay, this is interesting. It never really crossed my mind to think that leaving your name, like your real name, in the local dating site would be of any use to anyone, or that it could cause stalking. Like, I guess it makes sense now, but like, I wonder how you'd bring that up with the person you're like at dinner with. Like, oh, my name's not this, by the way, it's actually this. I don't know. One dude who lives in my city immediately messaged me and started flexing about his net worth, expecting that in my awe I would automatically drop everything, quit my job, and let him take care of me. What are these, bro? I've heard of these people, you know, you're like, oh man, look at all my stuff, bro. Like, come on. OP says, nope, I love my job and would have no plans to quit for any man. The guy kept at it, making new profiles every time I would block him. Yeah, red flag right there. Sometimes he would change his name, but he had a consistent writing style. Each message had similar mistakes since he's not a native English speaker. Interesting. I ended up deleting my profile from that site entirely. Yeah, OP's smart to just get rid of it. He kept at it though. He found my socials, Facebook and LinkedIn, and started messaging me there. Blocked and blocked. Yo, LinkedIn's another level of desperate. If we're reaching out on LinkedIn, I don't really know what's going on there. But apparently he kept looking on LinkedIn anonymously and saw my post there that recently I was hiring for a direct report where I work. The position was filled 2 weeks ago. But the stalker dude just this morning showed up at my office and told the receptionist that he was there for the interview with me. Oh my gosh. I called security to have the guy escorted out. I will definitely get a security escort to my car when I go home today, just in case he decides to hang out. I'm still freaking out that he might follow me and discover where I live. Yeah, this is not good at all. Some relevant comments. Number 1, yikes. Sorry that some men are so crazy. Do you have a dog? Friends that you can check in with daily? This situation sucks. Yeah, dog could be a G here. OP, I only have cats and a roommate, also a woman, so she might be in danger too. Dang, okay. Since the original dating site experience, I did end up finding a boyfriend, now my fiance, who works at a different company in the same building as me. I might be able to do a public affection moment with him in the parking lot. If he's watching, he can see me kiss a dude that isn't him. Who knows how he'd react if that might set him off into a jealousy spiral though. Yeah, OP, great point. He could just go insane if he sees you kiss a guy and get even more obsessive, which is not good. And then commenter actually replies to that and says, it usually doesn't work and will most likely escalate the issue. To be honest, your best bet is making police reports. The first few won't do much, but it demonstrates a pattern of behavior that you can use as a basis to progress a case against him. Okay. Commenter 2, hey OP, so sorry for what you're going through at the moment. Men like him are the scum of the earth. Did you happen to notice what vehicle he used to get to your work, if any? If so, it would be a good idea to write a description of it and other details, like what he looks like, etc., so you can eventually report him to the police. Does your fiance know about this psycho? Wishing you all the best. OP, I actually know his real name from all his various DMs. He included his real name before he started using aliases. I didn't see his car since I never left my own office during his visit this morning. I have a window that faces away from the parking lot, but a security guy just informed me that he was able to get a good video of his face in the lobby and his car when he was escorted out. What a goat, yo, let's go. And oh yes, fiance and I had a conversation early on about dating histories. I didn't have much to report at the time, but that was definitely on my list. At the time, it was just an amusing story until this escalation happened. The top comment is scary stuff. Check your car for air tags and don't always take the same way home. Document everything in case you need a restraining order. The first update is August 13th of 2024, a week later. Update about the stalker who came to my office. I posted recently about a stalker who found me last year on a dating site and cyber stalked me to the point that he came to my office last week, responding to a hiring notice that I post on LinkedIn. He tried to arrange an interview so he could have direct access to me. Yeah, that's insane that it was a year ago and this dude's been this obsessed. I did file a police report documenting Facebook and LinkedIn messages going back to 2023. I'd had him blocked in both places. His Facebook profile identified where he worked, so that's where the police officer went to locate and question him. Yo, this dude's stupid. Honestly, he's like stalking and being like, yo, hey, by the way, this is who I am. Like, wow, this guy's so dumb. Turns out that he was in the US under a H-1B work visa on a temporary work contract from a big employer in my city. Execs in the company apparently got freaked out enough about having a stalker guy on the premises that they terminated his contract. He got fired. Oh, let's go. The law around his type of visa says that he had 60 days from his termination date to find a new job, but it's a pretty tight network in the tech community where he works. He learned quickly that he's not going to get a new job within those 60 days. Dude got on a plane this morning back home to South Korea. I'm so relieved. Carry on, ladies. Wow. Yo, thank you so much for tuning into Mind Thread. It truly does mean the world to me. This is a very new channel, so if you have any stories you want me to read, please let me know. Throw them in the comments. And also, if you have any recommendations on like video quality, things you want me to do, just let me know. I'm trying this style of content because I really like it, but if there's something I can change or improve, just please let me know. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.